How's it, grade nines? So we're going to continue with trinomials. I hope yesterday was okay. I know these can be a little bit tricky when you first see them, but don't worry, we're going to work through them nice and slowly so you guys will get it. Okay, so the next one I'm going through is trinomials with a common factor. Slides 39 to 42, and the PowerPoint is factorization. So just as you saw with like common factor and dots, you could take out, for example, like with dots, you could take out a common factor, then you would be left with dots, and then you would factorize that. Very similar with these. You're going to get a common factor, take it out, then factorize your trinomial. So let's have a look at example 1. Okay, example 1 is saying factorize 3a squared minus 3a minus 18. Okay, so we have three terms, 1, 2, 3. And I can see that we have a common factor of 3 with each one. 3 is common there, and 3 goes into 18. So I'm going to take out my common factor. 3 times what gives us 3a squared? It's a squared. 3 times what gives us minus 3a? It's minus a. Then 3 times what gives us minus 18? It's minus 6. Cool. So we've taken out our common factor and we're left with a trinomial. So this is from yesterday's work, and I'm going to factorize this using our method that we learned yesterday. If you guys know how to do it in your head, that's good, but don't worry, you guys will learn how to do it in your head soon if you don't know. Okay, so for now, just remember, go 1 and 1 and draw this down. List the factors of 6. So it's 1, 2, 3, and 6. I reverse it, 6, 3, 2, and 1. Just to check that you've gone right, 1 times 6 gives you 6, 2 times 3 gives you 6, 3 times 2 gives you 6, 6 times 1 gives you 6. If you remember from yesterday, this sign over here is going to tell us what we are going to get in our brackets. So because it's a negative, we know we're going to have a plus or a minus, or a minus and a plus, which we'll figure out in a second. Okay, so the first thing I do is I go that times that, which gives us 6, and that times that, which gives us 1. Okay, now we know that our signs are going to be different, so plus, minus, and then minus, plus. So the top one, plus 6 minus 1 gives us plus 5. The bottom one, minus 6 plus 1, gives us minus 5. What are we trying to get to? We're trying to get to this middle number. Now remember, there's a minus invisible 1 there. Okay, minus 1a, or just minus a. Okay, we don't have a minus 1. We've got a plus 5 or a minus 5. So I'm going to move to the next pairs, which is that times that, which gives us 2, and then that times that, which gives us 3. Okay, then I just put my signs down, so plus or minus, minus, plus. The top one, plus 2 minus 3 gives us minus 1. Minus 2 plus 3 gives us plus 1. What are we trying to get to? Minus 1. There it is. That is what we want. Okay, so what gave it to us? It was this with that, and then it was this one with that one. Those are the things that are going to go into our bracket. So I'm going to bring this down. I'm still working with this, grade 9s. So I bring this down. So equals 3. Open up our two brackets. And it's this with this. So it's 1x with a 2. 1x with a 2. Move on to the next one. 1x with a 3. 1x with a 3. Now we need to decide what our signs are going to be. And it was this one that gave it to us. So we can see we need a plus 2, and a minus 3, minus 3. And we have factorized that example over there. Okay, moving on to example 2. Okay, so example 2 says factorize this example, minus a x squared plus 8ax plus 20a. Okay, so again, we've got three terms. We can see that each term has an a, and an a. So we know it's common. But as you remember from the previous section that we did with common factor, if your leading number, your leading term is a negative, you're going to take out the negative as a common factor with the rest of the stuff. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take out the negative and we're going to take out the a. And what are we left with? Minus a times what will give you x squared? Well, it's just x squared. Here comes the tricky bit, grade 9s. Just be careful. A minus times a what will give you a positive. It must be a minus. Okay? Then a times what will give you 8ax. It's just 8x. Again, be careful with your signs. Minus times a what will give you a positive. It's a minus. And then it's a times what gives you 20a. It's 20. Okay. Taken out a common factor. Here we have a trinomial. Okay, we're going to factorize this trinomial. I'm going to put one line. List the factors of 20. 1, 2, 4, 5, 10, and 20. I'm going to reverse it. 20, 10, 5, 4, 2, and 1. You can check each one of these, multiply together, should give you 20. Okay. Remember, this sign is telling us what signs are we going to get in our brackets at the end. So, because it's a negative, we know we're going to have a plus or a minus, or we could have a minus and a plus. Right. Now, I am going to just skip a few steps here, grade 9s, just so you can see how we can move through this method a little bit quicker. You remember what we're trying to get to? We are trying to get to 8. Okay? So, let's have a look. We know we're going to take that times that, and that times that. So, we'll get 20 and 1. There's no ways we can get to 8 with 20 and 1. We can either get to 19 or 21. So, that's not helping us. Okay? Let's move on to the next one. We've got that times that times that. So we've got 10 and 2. Can we get to 8 with 10 and 2? Well, sure, we can say 10 minus 2 gives us the 8. So let's try that. And you see how I've missed some steps now. Just to make it a little bit quicker. So that first one, 1 times 10 gives us 10. That times that gives us 2. And I know my signs are going to be a plus or a minus, or a minus and a plus. So, plus 10 minus 2 gives us plus 8. Minus 10 plus 2 gives us minus 8. What are we trying to get to? Minus 8. And there it is. So you see how I missed some steps just to get to the answer a little bit quicker. So it was this one with this one. And this one with that one. Okay. So I'm continuing from here, grade 9s, equals minus a, open up our brackets, 1x with a 2 goes into a bracket. 1x with a 10 goes into a bracket. Now we need to figure out what our signs are. We want this one. So we know we must have a minus 10 and a plus 2. And we have factorized that trinomial by taking out a common factor first. Okay. Right, grade 9s, I would like you to do exercise 18.11, and I want you to do the left-hand side of that exercise, please, for me. Thank you very much.